But you're a fan of the art. That's
The
why.
art part is
That's
what I mean. That's why I went all in on the Aoki stuff. That stuff, that art stuff, the artist caliber is what appeals to me. I love seeing that on the cards. Um, that type of creativity is what's going to be propelling the card market into younger generations. That is what is going to get younger generations' attention span onto collecting cards. Because eventually, when the bubble
yeah.
starts, you know, coming down, the only thing that keeps the hype going is we got to keep getting the next generation, the 20 somethings that start getting their, disposable income in. They got to start having that interest in the sports card market or the card market in general. And the generations that are coming up now, that's the type of
Yep.
thing that they're seeing on a daily basis. That's the type of interests they have into these artists, into the different types of, cult following stuff, the indie trends and things like that. Cards are going to have to start taking that on, and Topps has done a better job of that than Panini has. Panini has failed miserably at that. They
Yeah.
have not kept up with that aspect. I think Topps is gonna
No.
gonna utilize that. They're gonna ride those coattails and push forward. The Panini Instant stuff is garbage looking in comparison to what Topps does for a lot of what they do print on demand. And I'm not trying to bash on Panini.
Absolutely.
Panini's got some great
Tops is
products, but
capitalizing on the wrestling market.
just in
Yeah.
general, I mean, just in general, the print on demand stuff that Topps is doing, like the quality is just better. I've got some Panini print on demand stuff, the Panini Instant stuff, and I'm not a huge fan in comparison. Like if I hold them together, Topps Now stuff's good quality stuff. It's nice cards, but more
Mhm.
importantly, they're looking at the artistic values of that. Panini is literally just pumping out cards that look similar to whatever their cheapest brand card is, short of some of the very high end, $1,000 autographs. But go look at the actual graphic design on those cards. They leave a lot to be desired on the Panini Instant stuff,
Yeah.
And again, I understand Panini makes some of the better actual cards, like the look of the cards, the quality of the cards in the packs. When it comes to the actual product that you open up packs of, Panini wins 99% of the time, in my opinion. And so far, Topps hasn't made much product that I'm super impressed with in general. But
Wait till you finally get your eyes on some sapphire.
yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I get it. And don't get me wrong, Panini makes a lot of duds too. I mean, for every one, there's probably two Panini products that are kind of poopy. But at the same time, Panini's putting out a lot more products than Topps is. Also, there's that. Got more
Yeah, we are
licenses.
good.
Yeah, no, I think to kind of wrap up your point there, I think that Tops and Panini are both staples. I don't think either is going anywhere anytime
Topps has
soon.
a
I
luxury,
think
yeah.
that they both have a hold of their licenses and they are not going to let them go anytime soon. I think that Tops is synonymous with baseball. I know you might have an opinion that Panini might go after the baseball license
If
eventually,
they ever
but
open it up to another vendor, Topps can't be ousted from baseball. Like most people don't understand.
right,
Topps wouldn't have a baseball license if other people could just buy it from them because Topps is grandfathered in. It can't be taken from them because they've been making licensed baseball cards before a license existed. They're grandfathered in. Every time that license comes up for renewal, Topps gets it first and foremost for much less money than any other company does because they're
right.
grandfathered in. The
Well, they're synonymous with baseball.
well, but that's the thing. Again, it has nothing to do with how good or bad they are. They were the first before there was ever a licensing brand for it. They get to keep it legally. They can't take it away from them. I know. I lived it. I watched 80 people lose their jobs at Donruss playoff because we lost the baseball license because Topps got handed it and Upper Deck bought the only other license available because they wrote a fat check with Yu-Gi-Oh dollars. I watched it happen. A
Yeah.
bunch of people at Donruss lost their jobs. The games division that I was working with at the time, we were afraid we might lose our jobs because of it because they laid off more than half the company. That was a huge chunk. That said,
Yeah.
if MLB ever opens up a second license, Panini has it. Panini's going to just go, here's the
Oh yeah, for
check, I'll
sure. They
take
can money
that.
whip MLB so
Well,
fast.
and
Like,
that's the thing, Panini will just take that license, they'll write the check, something they were not able to compete with back in the day, they can now. But that's MLB. It's baseball. It has nothing to do with trading cards at all. It is MLB lost so much money in over a number of years, because while I understand that baseball is still a popular sport, baseball as a whole, the branding and the marketing was just literally hemorrhaging money. And so MLB had to basically rein in all its licenses in the early 2000s. And when it reined in all its licenses, it basically said, hey, hat producers, three different producers that make hats. Guess what? We're cutting that down to two. Hey, people that make T-shirts with MLB logos on them. We have five. We're making that two. Hey, trading card producers. We have three licenses out there. We're reining that in. Now there's going to be two, right? They did that so they could have more control over the quality of the products going out the door and things of that nature. There's a lot of that we can get into another time. But with trading cards, because that continued to hemorrhage money, they kept reining that in. It kept coming back in. And they reeled that down, and now there's only one baseball license for trading cards. It's the same way across a number of products. There are a number of products where there are only one baseball license granted to a company. That's unfortunate because you, the consumer, have to pay higher prices because of it, and you're stuck with the quality that gets put in front of you. But at the end of the day, there may come a day where the MLB starts actually making more money and gets to be, more competitive with, football and, some of the other sports that are out there. Basketball, NFL, NBA, they have multiple vendors in most of their licenses. Not the case when it comes to baseball. So,
No, I dig it. I dig it. But I agree with your point that Topps is capitalizing on this new generation by putting these artists in front of them and giving them, a leg to stand
well, and
on.
I think they
With
have to find new and inventive ways to get in the market, because here's the thing: Topps doesn't have very good licenses. Baseball
yeah,
is a license that they ride, but at the same time, there's only so much you can do with baseball, because the traditional baseball card collector is your age and older, and the average baseball fan, like, there are kids playing baseball, but baseball cards don't appeal to them as much. And baseball cards haven't really come up in the world. Football cards, there's prisms, there's all kinds of crazy, crazy stuff, but there's still affordable football cards that are interesting and on a level, for younger generations. There's so many different football card products being made, so many different basketball products being made. For baseball, there's still a sub number of baseball products being made, and they're heavily overprinted to compensate for not making more of them. And I just don't think the younger generations are buying into baseball cards the same way. So when I look at it that way, I think Topps is trying to compensate. They're looking at any way that they can capitalize on getting other niche markets
oh
into
yeah.
whatever products they do
Hey,
have.
speaking of that, they released Formula One cards yesterday on their
I
UK
know.
site.
I actually really wanted to get some. Those are going to be super hot. Those are going to be super hot.
Did
Yeah, I
you?
wanted those. Those are going to be really hot. Those are going to be like soccer cards. Formula One. So understand that in the world of racing, I'm not a Formula One fan,
Yeah.
but Formula One is like soccer when it comes to America. Soccer is the biggest sport in the world. It can't even be
Right.
debated. It dwarfs
No.
football. It dwarfs baseball. It dwarfs, you could take football and baseball together. It dwarfs them as far as fan
Right.
bases, as far as the
Basketball's
money.
bigger than both those two sports.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, what we concept in America as far as the people that watch and the fan bases and the money that is put in, like baseball with no salary cap, paying mid card players $300 million, to play for their team over 5 years or whatever the nonsense is they do in baseball. That literally is nothing in soccer. Like, it's just like, yeah, whatever. They laugh at that. Soccer has that massive fan base. Formula One is identical to that in a lot of ways. Formula One has massive fan bases all across the world. Formula One is this big in America, and it's this big in the world. It's the same type of thing as
Right.
soccer. I would venture to guess that Formula One racing probably has worldwide fan bases equalized to what we have as football and baseball combined here in the U.S. I would say that it is probably equal to a much bigger thing. So that international crowd, I think Formula One's going to be a big deal. Like, that is a big money making sport. I think there's going to be high end collectors buying in on the Formula One stuff, I was really kind of pumped to try to get that. Yeah, Howard, the
Hey,
UFC
so
cards.
speaking of international audience, what do you think about UFC cards? Because I know that both Tops and Panini are going after UFC.
Well, I mean, apparently Panini got it. Panini's putting out a Prism UFC set. It's coming. So they put out the announcement. It's official. They did the interview. DJ, I sent you that thing. DJ Komersky, I think is how you say his name. Whoever, he's like the VP of Panini. I've known him. I worked for him for a little while there. On LinkedIn, he posted an interview he did. He made it official. Panini's got a Prism UFC set coming out. It's coming. So, yeah.
Like, did they officially sign the license, are they just another one of the? You know how both are going after soccer.
No, I'm almost certain that they have a license.
It's exclusive to
But
Panini.
but Panini's had a UFC license for years. That's not new.
Yeah.
That's not new.
So has Tops though.
Right. Like it's not new that Panini's been able to produce UFC cards. I mean, they were producing UFC cards when I was there. So I still have a stack of UFC autographs upstairs. None of them are very good fighters, but